Guten Tag, travelers. This week on Red Bennett Plays, we'll be going to Mars for the Cerberus Ve 3 mission. Anyone looking for intel on the boss, you can skip ahead to minute marker 1020. This is a very fun Nightfall mission. For anyone who's been thinking of trying one solo for the first time, I highly recommend doing this one. There are no burns, again, this week. However, there is Juggler, so I will be bringing along Icebreaker. Some Destiny updates for some people who may not know yet already. The patch released this week fixed the heavy ammo steal upon death or respawn, so that shouldn't be a problem for us anymore, and they also added mandatory matchmaking for the weekly heroic strike, which I'm kind of bummed about because I liked doing them by myself. I was hoping that they would just have a toggle type option where you could opt in to matchmaking, but no such luck. Here we are, Mars, jewel of our solar system. Still a desert, and why the Cabal want it, we have no idea. But we're in a war over it, so let's get to work. This Nightfall mission is unique in that it doesn't require us to fight every single enemy to advance. A lot of the enemies we can just avoid entirely. These guys are going to get in our way when we try to hack that console, so we're going to get rid of them.
Established a link. We can track him and his guard.
Normally there are enemies just outside that door, but it looks like another party cleared them out already.
Be on the lookout for his lieutenants. They're just as dangerous.
Now in this room, it's not actually necessary to fight anyone, and I'd like to point out that it's not a darkness zone, so you're free to die and respawn as many times as you like. So after clearing all the enemies, there is a gold chest in here, for anyone who hasn't gotten it yet. It's up on that ledge, so it's just going to require a little bit of jumping to get over there. So we got some pipes we can jump on, and then up to the ledge, and then across the gap, and the chest is in the back, right about there. And like I said, you're not actually required to fight any of the enemies in this room, so if you can avoid attracting attention to yourself immediately, you can run right from the entrance all the way to this other end.
Good news. All of his lieutenants are here. We could take down all of his guard.
Okay, now we are in a darkness zone. I'm using a void type damage sniper rifle for the scions. As long as we keep our distance, that Colossus at the end of the hall will not attack us. And that's really the lesson that we want for this entire area, is just keep your distance. I don't happen to mind using my sniper rifle ammo, because I have the Icebreaker, so I can regenerate ammo for it at will. But if you don't happen to have a good sniper rifle, or don't have enough ammo to go around for it, grab one of these interceptors and just try to use the same strategy where you keep your distance and just fire mortars at everything. A criticism about the interceptors that I have, though, is that side-mounted guns on a hover tank make absolutely no sense, because anytime you fire, it would, in the real world, just spin the tank around like a top. But we are also fighting 4 separate wars with 4 separate alien races, so I guess I should be careful where I suspend my disbelief. There are 3 enemies over on this ledge. So after a couple of shots, they'll go and hide behind that sand dune. But hitting them in the fin on the back weirdly does damage to them. So you can know not only exactly where they are, but you can kill them without actually seeing their heads. So after we've killed all the enemies, we have to fight the tank. Now the best place I've found for this, although some people like to go up on this promontory in the center, is just on this bridge. So as we aim for the jets on where its wheels should be, we're going to keep an eye on that cannon. So we want to give ourselves as much time to react and get out of the way of that cannonball as we can. There are enemies down with the tank, but since we're well outside their weapon range, we don't have to worry about them. And after the tank is defeated, we can just walk right past them completely if we want. I so badly want to call in an orbital strike on this tank. It's in a bathtub made out of rock, so it can't go anywhere, and there's a clear sky right above it. But no, so I guess I'll just hit it with this pea shooter. So after you blow off the armor plating on these jets, one of your bullets will do about 40,000 damage, and that's really what you want to go for. Do you think they have different sized tanks for the Cabal? Like, is the one that we're fighting now the Volkswagen Bug of Cabal tanks, and that somewhere out there there's a Humvee type one? So with the tank down, you can see that our health bar has disappeared, signifying that it is no longer a darkness zone. So if we go through the hallway made out of rock, come to this ship, so we're still not in a darkness zone yet, so we don't even need to fight these guys. So in this room, it's large enough to where we can use our sniper rifle if we choose to. Keep an eye out for scions, and there's one captain in the back with a grenade launcher. Now here we are in the boss room. There are 2 legionnaires, and once we kill them, the boss will show up at the far end of the room. This boss fight can be a little time consuming, but as long as we play it safe and use our awesome super spot that we've got picked out, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So there's him. Now he will stand down at the other end of the room until we do enough damage to him. Now the spot is right here. It's just to the left side of this walkway, and it's just a little fort in here that we can hang out in. Fire a couple rockets. Now after we do enough damage, he will switch which end of the room that he is on. So he will move from this end down to the other end, until he takes enough damage again, and then we'll move back to his first position. And after he takes enough damage from there, which is at about half health, he will just start to freely roam the room. And that's really what we want to get to, because the stream of enemies that he's spawning to help him will never stop. Actually, another sweet thing about being down here is that there are 2 panels side by side that make up this ramp that we're hiding under, and the gap between them is large enough for us to shoot through. So once he gets to his free range mode, we're going to be able to aim straight up and shoot him in the feet. Once he does go into free range mode, avoid this position that I'm in right now. There's just a couple of boxes that's just like a little outlet for us to move to where we can shoot from. Stay away from that, because if you go there, he will go to the bottom of the ramp, and his firepower will prevent us from being able to deal significant damage to him. So once he goes into free range mode, stay towards the back of this area. The secondary reason for that is if we're at the bottom of the ramp, he does a stomp attack, and that can go through the ramp, and we don't want to get hit by it. And that is the whole trick. You just hang out here, and I know it's not very sportsmanlike, but I don't really care. For anyone curious as to what I got as a reward for finishing this Nightfall, I got the Legend 6 Legendary Class Shotgun. So not too shabby. And if anyone has any solo missions that they would like me to do, maybe just a daily heroic or something that's been giving them trouble whenever it pops up, I will be taking requests. Just leave your request in the comments section. And if anyone still wants to get unrestricted use of exotic equipment in player versus environment, definitely tweet at Bungie using the hashtag ExoticPVE. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll be back next week.